chocolate cake, a staple in all sorts of events and celebrations, from birthday parties, anniversaries, and as seen as a nice reward. But how did it come to be? Did George Washington make it? No, but there is an answer. To figure out the creator of the best chocolate cake in life. But how did something as big and important create something so amazing? Today, we're taking a look at how all the way from the start of the universe made chocolate cake and how it evolved over time. The creation of chocolate cake involves items, chemicals, technology, mathematics, agriculture. Well, something had to produce the stars, elements, the earth, humans, collective learning, agriculture, and also the modern revolution, shaping the universe and the chemicals used in chocolate cake. If you wonder what created the universe and everything in it, well, guess what? Chicken butt! Continuing, the Big Bang created everything in our universe. The Big Bang hasn't always been generally accepted in the explanation of how our universe came to be. In fact, our views of the origins and structure of the universe have changed drastically over the last thousands of years. As new thinking and evidence have built upon another, our understanding of the universe has evolved. Over the ages, astronomers have used the tools of their time to understand the origin and structure of the universe. The start of the universe made chocolate cake able to exist later on, many years from this point from the evolution of our universe.
A few moments later.
In the many years following the Big Bang, hydrogen atoms floated freely around the universe. These atoms were slightly more packed together in some places than in others. In the more crowded areas, the hydrogen atoms were close enough to each other to let gravity do its work. And these little pockets of hydrogen and pressure would force them into each other, leading to stars lighting up across our universe. Along with atoms are starting to move around, the universe also begins to cool down. Gravity would also push these atoms around into its segments of stars known as galaxies, which leaves these energy-filled stars to be shown in multiple places among the universe. With the birth of stars, new sources of light and energy emerged all over the universe. They burned hydrogen to create helium. Helium was then used to create carbon, neon, oxygen, silicon, and iron. However, it is once these stars started running out of fuel that these things really got interesting. It is in these massive explosions that resulted in certain stars of running out of fuel that all of the elements of the periodic table were created. Without the death of stars, none of our world would exist today. Creating these elements allowed everything in our world to be created, including the ingredients for cake, such as water, cocoa beans, flour, etc. It also helps produce the elements and chemicals needed to make the cake and also to heat it up. These stars would also then produce humans to find these in nature. Since 1995, hundreds of exoplanets, or planets outside of our solar system, have been discovered orbiting other stars. Star formation begins in giant gas clouds, and probably 99.9% of these materials in these clouds go into the making of the star. 1% of the material in the original gas cloud is left for planet formation, sometimes rocky like our Earth, sometimes gassy like Jupiter. These planets gather masses as other floating debris crashes onto their surface. In the early days of our solar system, the Earth was constantly bombarded with floating debris. Over time, things settled down and the Earth cooled, making it the perfect place for life to form. This would lead humans to make chocolate cake many years later from this point. At one point in history, spontaneous generation was a reasonable explanation for the emergence of life due to how the evidence or lack of it for how life has developed. Some have argued that in a shallow pool of water, others have argued that it began deep down below the surface of the ocean. Still, others believe that a meteor from a distant corner of the universe brought to Earth the ingredients for life. How life appeared and how it changed over time are some of the most interesting questions you'll tackle in this course. This helped make chocolate cake because having humans, they could then later learn and produce chocolate cake, creating fire to cook it and also making the batter. Animals would then, after a long time, descend into cows and chickens, which could then produce butter, milk, eggs, used for making cakes.
Collective learning is a distinctly human ability to share and preserve knowledge, which allows us to build on ideas over time and advance at a rapid rate in comparison with other species of animals. The key to this ability is the fact that humans communicating using symbolic language. It also helped humans learn how to gather and hunt food over time, and also creating weapons. This can be related to how cake has been passed on to generations and also to cook it over fire, which has been remembered for a very long time.
Long-distance trade used to be very slow, difficult, and dangerous, yet complex regional networks connected societies in many parts of Africa, Eurasia, and in the Americas. These networks changed the communities with which they came into contact and paved the way for global networks we have today. For most of human history, our ancestors gathered, hunted, and fished for their food, but something changed about 12,000 years ago that led to a group of foragers settling down, farming, and creating complex societies. This transformation was such a big deal that historians call it the agricultural revolution. The causes of this revolution and its many consequences were the agriculture people were able to grow cocoa and other ingredients in cake to make chocolate cake. Trading items also allowed more ingredients to be added to chocolate cake. These connected societies also allowed information such as recipes and news to be traveled, creating the many ways that people know about the chocolate cake recipe. Each ingredient from the cocoa beans and the flour are essential to make chocolate cake, but you need to grow most of the ingredients. With agriculture, you're able to grow your ingredients to make this fabulous confection in the rainforests of South America. Cocoa beans started being the key ingredient to making chocolate.
The rise of agriculture ushered in an era of increasing innovation in communication and transportation that led different parts of the world to connect in entirely new ways. The voyages of Christopher Columbus extended this exchange from Afro-Eurasia to the Americas, which saw a massive movement of ideas, people, diseases, plants, and animals between the two hemispheres. The result of these exchanges were dramatic. Potatoes and corn, first cultivated in the Americas, quickly became crucial in the diets of people across Eurasia. Horses and cattle, unknown in the New World in 1492, quickly took on crucial roles in many societies in the Americas. The linking of different world zones in this period and the exchange that this linking made possible transformed the lifeways of people and civilizations involved, and laid the foundation for modern exchange routes and global balance of power. With the modern revolution, people knew how to bake with many different ingredients like cocoa. So, one person decided to add cocoa into her cake, producing chocolate cake. This would be the threshold that chocolate cake would grow, be common in celebrations throughout the world.
By using measurements and mathematics, we can measure the amount of ingredients used to make the cake, the size, the feeling, and the taste. By distributing different amount of ingredients, we can help change the taste, feeling, and size of the cake.
When you bake a chocolate cake, the ingredients go through a chemical change. A chemical change occurs when the molecules that compose two or more substances are rearranged to form a new substance. The bonds in protein molecules can be broken quite easily at the temperatures we use for baking, allowing amino acids to move around and combine with other molecules like sugar.
In 1779 was the first time where chocolate was incorporated into baked goods. They would then start to use an experiment with chocolate, creating chocolate chip cookies and drinks. In the early 19th century, the first chocolate cake was used for celebrations such as anniversaries, birthdays, or gifts to one another. Chocolate cake would then be used for the same reasons and slowly improve upon the decorations and also the taste and flavor and ingredients.
The future doesn't hold much for chocolate cake. As chocolate cake is as diverse as it is, the ingredients won't change too much as it already has progressed a long way. As more ingredients are improving over time, it can add to the taste and feeling of eating chocolate cake, but not by much due to chocolate cake mainly reaching its peak. Although its technology advances over time, the appearance of chocolate cake can change a lot. In the past, chocolate cake can be seen mainly as a circle, but then in the present and future day, they can be seen as having other appearances such as a globe and many other items. Even the flavor and taste can evolve into something more complex.
In conclusion, chocolate cake has evolved over time dramatically. From the appearance of the cake, the taste, and many more features, we see chocolate cake grow, all the way from the Big Bang to the present day or future. We see the growth of chocolate cake and how it has evolved along with humans as a basic celebration necessity.
Wow, look at this yummy cake. It looks so yummy.